What's up, everybody? It is a Blue Drake, and today we're going to be talking about PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds. A lot of you have been asking me to talk about this, especially since it has been getting a lot of press, both from things like Twitch, both officially and unofficially, and of course there's been a lot of people playing it on YouTube, and it's a very anticipated release. Now, if for whatever reason you don't know what Battlegrounds is, it is essentially the newest kid on the block for the Battle Royale style gameplay, which is a very prominent form of gameplay, something that I haven't really gotten into as much as the rest of the world apparently has gotten into it. It's kind of almost like the new survival game mode craze, except instead of being a survival game like Rust, it's more of a survival game like the culling game mode, or also some of the Arma Battle Royale game modes that have really taken off. So we're here to talk about Battlegrounds, not the other games, because for whatever reason this game has gotten a lot of press and a lot of hype, and I think it's deserved. It's definitely a popular game mode, so naturally there was going to be something like this. But after playing Battlegrounds myself, I was not nearly as much of a fan of Arma's version of it. I was not nearly as big of a fan of even the culling. And I think that Battlegrounds is it's definitely a clone of other games, but it's a clone done better than the other games. And I feel like there's something to be said for that in the industry, because there's a lot of games out there that kind of do things that are a great idea just executed poorly. And if there weren't other games that took that idea and did it just with better execution, then we probably wouldn't have a lot of our most favorite games that we have now. I mean, hell, even H1Z1 or other zombie survival games are just rehashed versions of DayZ, but you'd be lying if you didn't say a lot of those games are very welcome. I mean, hell, even Resident Evil 7 was in many ways inspired by Alien Isolation. And there's a lot of inspiration going back and forth between lots of game development studios, so I think this game has a place. I absolutely do. But let's talk about my experience with it. Now, let me tell you going up front, I am not a huge Battle Royale fan. I'm not particularly good at it. I am more invested in large-scale, teamwork-oriented battles, not small-scale. You can team up with a small amount of people in this game. You can have a partner. But the vast majority of it is you... it's more or less deathmatch. It's just a version of deathmatch. And whenever there's a version of deathmatch, I always seem to die. Maybe not first, but a lot sooner than I would like. And I always want to try and experience the world more before I die. And there seems to be only two ways to do that. You either run off in the middle of nowhere and hide for the vast majority of the entire session, or you just get really, really good at killing people, which is, I'm not going to be that person. I can't be that. Now, Battlegrounds has vehicles, and the vehicles are actually pretty well done. They're not fantastic. They're not nearly on the level of DayZ or other vehicles that have really in-depth vehicle management systems where you actually have to like change out tires and change out engine parts and whatnot. They do have fuel, and you can get fuel for them, but besides that, it's a lot more simplistic. However, I would say in many ways that might even be the point of this game mode. The point of Battlegrounds is to do Battle Royale, but more almost like an esports style. A little bit more simple, a little bit more straightforward, but still giving you a lot of flexibility and a lot of depth to do what you need to do. The weapon attachment system felt really solid. The inventory system felt really solid. The game felt really, really responsive. And it felt overall a lot easier to play and a lot easier to get into than games like, H1Z1, or even games like some of Arma's Battleground clones. And the funny thing about Arma is if you want to play a game of Battle Royale in Arma, there's different servers. Some of the servers are good, some of them are bad. There's different types of the game modes. There's a lot of variety. Some of it's good variety, some of it's not very good variety. And then you have H1Z1, which since any game developed like H1Z1, it kind of gets the almost like a War Thunder. I call it like the War Thunder effect, where the game is good, but it's so hard to get access to the game and actually get into a game that it feels a little bit exclusive. It feels, and not exclusive in the good way, exclusive as in the it excludes you, as in you cannot get at the game. In War Thunder, I love playing simulation, but since the only way you can play simulation competitively against ranks that make sense is with matchmaking, you're never going to get a match because nobody plays simulation. You could do it through dedicated servers, but the dedicated servers are never populated. So when you take a game like Battlegrounds is very, very simple. All of the servers are exactly the same, so the matchmaking is very, very quick. There's not different levels or different like difficulties or like veteran or easy or any of that stuff. There's just duo and single, and that means that if you want to get into a match, you're going to get into a match quickly and you know exactly what to expect. And I almost feel like that's its own kind of genre in the gaming industry. You've got two kinds of games out there. You've got the games that give you all the controls in the world to make the experience or have the experience that you want to have, but then it splits the community up so much that you may not be able to find anybody to play with. But then you have games like Battlegrounds, or even, Rainbow Six Siege, things like that, where there's not nearly as much variety, but everything is so simplified that it's much easier to get into a game and enjoy the game that's there, as opposed to having to wait around or get frustrated looking for an experience. So yeah, I would definitely say that's my experience with Battlegrounds. I'll probably play it more if you guys want me to, but again, I'm not a big Battle Royale person. There was definitely a lot of epic moments that I had in this game. I wish they would create a game mode that has more team versus team as opposed to like 2 versus 2 and stuff like that, like 32 players versus 32 players. But again, I think this is not what that game is, and that's not what this game tries to be. So it's not what you're going to get. And I can respect that. I can totally respect that. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I just wanted to make a quick video and talk about this and make sure that you guys do understand that I do know of it and I do have an opinion on it. If you have any ideas or if you have any opinions about this game, make sure you tell me in the comments below, and then hopefully I'll have some gameplay footage from a couple of games that we like to cover, like Dragon Rising and whatnot, here in the near future. Okay, that is it. I'll see you guys next time. Love you very much, and yeah, enjoy Battlegrounds if you so desire.